Hello there, Sim0nTrains here, or some people like to call me Sim0nTrains. Today we are visiting 5 railway stations on the Chiltern Main Line between Leamington Spa and Birmingham Moor Street. So without further ado, here's the 5 stations we are visiting today. The first one is Hatton, Warwick Parkway, Dorridge, and the last station of the day, Acox Green. So now you've seen all the 5 stations we've visited today, we're going to roll the intro now, and we're going to meet you at Rugeley Town Railway Station to start this railway journey. Hello, my name is Simon, and I'm a rail enthusiast for the town of Rugeley in Staffordshire. And I also use the railway to travel around the country. These are my journeys across the United Kingdom by the iron rails, which sometimes can go successful or end up in a disaster. The block now approaching this YouTube channel is the next Sim0nTrains Railway Journey, and I welcome you to this service. So please sit back and enjoy the adventure. You join me at Rugeley Town Railway Station. Now this is the start of our journey today. It's just gone 20 to 8 in the morning. Now usually this time you get your peak trains, so you get your busy commuters going to work, going to other places as well. But as you can see, the station is empty apart from 2 people down the bottom because it's a bank holiday Monday. So we're going to take advantage of going down to Birmingham early, because on a bank holiday, the tickets are all off-peak all day, from the first train in the morning. So our journey will take us into Warwickshire today, but to get there, we've got to catch the 0747 West Midlands Railway service to Birmingham New Street, and this service will terminate at Birmingham New Street. Even though it's a West Midlands Railway service, it'll be a London North Western Railway Class 350-0. So it should be coming down from Rugeley Trent Valley now. After a quick walk from Birmingham New Street Railway Station, I'm now at Birmingham Moor Street Railway Station. Now the tourist platforms here were opened in 1909, but they closed about 1987 when the platforms behind me here opened in the late 80s, so they could have through services to Birmingham Snow Hill. But then the tourist platforms got reinstated about 2010. But we're not here to talk about Birmingham Moor Street Railway Station. We're actually catching a train from here, which is that unit right behind me. That's a Class 165 DMU. 165026 is going to take me to my first destination I've visited today, Hatton. Now what I have noticed here at Birmingham Moor Street Railway Station is they do have a one-way system in place from the ticket barriers. So you come in the normal way, but you go out a different way, which will be interesting on the way back. Also, a lot of services have removed like do not sit here on their services, like especially Northern. Chiltern have kept them, so there is a very limited seating on their service. So I better jump on that train now before I can't get a seat. This is what I'm on about right here. They've got these like blue bands around here that says keep this seat free to maintain social distancing. So like I said, there's very limited seats on the Chiltern Railway services, but at least I've got a seat. It's not that busy to be honest, but anyway, we're going to leave now to head to Hatton. Now yes, I'm on the train without a face covering because I'll explain that now, because I do have a face covering exception card. We just come past Bentley Heath Nell crossing. Now I'll explain this in a minute, but usually this service has a unique feature because it actually gets looped just before Dorridge. Now this is so they can allow cross-country trains to pass through, but since cross-country services are actually different today, which I explained at Hatton, we're actually not being looped and we go straight into Dorridge Railway Station. But Dorridge is one of the stations we'll be visiting on the way back. We're now at our first station out of 5 we visited today. This is Hatton Railway Station. Now I'm going to turn the camera this way for a second because this way takes you towards Leamington Spa. Now this has an hourly service going in that direction, but if I turn this way, we're looking down towards Birmingham and Stratford. This has a 2-hourly service to Birmingham Moor Street and a 2-hourly service to Stratford upon Avon. Now what it is because one service stops here as a Berger Leamington service, then the next hour is a Stratford to Leamington service, and the hour after that is a Birmingham to Leamington service. So that's why it's every 2 hourly to Birmingham Moor Street and towards Stratford upon Avon. And this is why I'm on platform 2/3 because my train to Warwick is actually going to be on platform 3 because it comes off from Stratford upon Avon. So this is a junction station for 2 lines, which we'll explain the history in a second. Also want to mention is the Chiltern Railway services with those blue bands across the seats saying this seat's not available. That is actually wrong because you can sit anywhere you want on the Chiltern Railway service. You just got to be sensible about it and maintain the social distancing. We're also here today to film some cross-country trains passing through. Now, yes, cross-country trains do pass through here, but they pass on the diagrams from Newcastle to Reading or Southampton Central. The services we're getting today though is not them. We're actually getting the Manchester Piccadilly to Bournemouth/Reading services. Now these services actually do go by Coventry, but Coventry is shut because of engineering works. So they diverted the Manchester to Reading/Bournemouth services by Dorridge, Hatton and on to Reading that way. So that's what we're here for, and that's why we did not stop at the loop on the Class 165 at Dorridge, because the times are different. So we're now going to do the station history of Hatton Railway Station and carry on filming some trains passing through here. Now this is the station history for Hatton Railway Station. It's a junction station where the line to Stratford upon Avon diverts off the Chiltern Main Line. The station opened 1852 by the Birmingham Oxford Junction Railway, which the line was promoted by the Great Western Railway. The branch to Stratford opened 1860 and a third line to Alcester added in 1876. Now when the line to Alcester was added, the Hatton to Stratford line became double track. The station had platforms extended in 1892, but the western end towards Alcester was closed in 1951. The Hatton to Stratford line was singled on the 22nd of September 1968. Now the track was only singled between Hatton and Wilmcote. But we're just going to film a few more trains now before we move on to station number 2, which I'll explain a bit later on in the blog. I've now seen all the traffic that's supposed to come through Hatton. As you can see, I'm at the western end of the railway station, and these 2 tracks here are the Chiltern Main Line. These takes you on to Dorridge and towards Birmingham Snow Hill. Now, my train that's going to be arriving very soon is actually not coming in from that direction, because if I take a quick little walk to this side of the station, you can just see a little junction here with a 10-mile-per-hour speed limit. Now this line here actually takes you on to Wilmcote and on to Stratford upon Avon. It joins the line at Barley Junction just before Wilmcote Station. Now this used to be doubled, as I mentioned, in the station's history, but in the late 60s they actually reverted back to single tracks, so Clarendon and Barley are only 1 station platforms. But my train's actually going to come off this branch line here to join this railway station here at Hatton, which it will use platform 3, and it will carry on its journey towards Warwick and on to Leamington Spa. So my train should be arriving any second now. We're now at the second station of the day we visited today, Warwick. Now this will be the eastern point of our journey, because after I visit this station, the next 3 stations I'm filming at are actually in that direction, heading towards Birmingham Moor Street and Birmingham Snow Hill. This way though, the next station down the line is Leamington Spa. I was thinking about filming at Leamington Spa today, but I thought nah, because the trains towards Coventry by Kenilworth are not running, because as I mentioned, there's engineering works going on in the Coventry area. So what brings me to Warwick? Well, it's just filled with the cross-country trains really passing through, but instead of 2, there's actually 3 that's passing through here, because there is actually a Birmingham New Street to Banbury shuttle that's running as well. So we're going to get 3 cross-country trains passing through here instead of 2. We're also here to film some Chiltern Railway movements. Now, as you saw at Hatton, I did get a Chiltern Class 68 passing through, which I think was the Oxford Flyer. So we're going to see if we get some more local haul services throughout the day. But we're going to do the station history of this station now. After the station history, I will mention where we're going next after here. Now this is the station history of Warwick Station. Warwick was opened on the 1st of October 1852 by the Great Western Railway on the Oxford to Birmingham line. The platforms were extended in the 1890s and the station did have a bay platform. Now this bay platform is just where this metal fence is on the right hand side. This was used to park banking engines to assist goods trains going up Hatton Bank. This station only has hourly service to London Marylebone, because our next station has a half an hour service to London Marylebone, but it's also got the name Warwick. That's right, it's Warwick Parkway. So we're just going to film a few more trains here and then visit Warwick Parkway next. So our time is nearly up at Warwick. We've got all the traffic that's coming through here, so I can do the trains at Warwick video. This will be a separate video to this blog. Now I've come down to the end of this platform here, so the 8-car board is just here. Because the reason is, my next train that I'm going to be catching is a 7-coach train. And I'm catching this, as I mentioned, the station history to Warwick Parkway. Now Warwick Parkway does have a half an hour service to London Marylebone from there, which I'll explain later on when I do that station history. But this station has got only hourly service to London. But the Leamington stopping services from either Birmingham Moor Street or Stratford-upon-Avon do make it half an hourly. So that 7-coach train that should be arriving, it should be arriving now to take me to my next destination, which is only a few minutes up the line. This is station number 3 we're visiting today, Warwick Parkway. Now what I'm doing at Warwick Parkway is just basically the same that I'm doing at Hatton and at Warwick, filming the cross-country services that are diverted through here, even though they do pass through here, but it's different diagrams. Because as I mentioned, the Newcastle to Reading / Southampton services are not running today, and the Manchester Piccadilly to Bournemouth services are being diverted on this stretch of line instead of going by Coventry because of engineering works. There is also about 12:30 a Chiltern Railways local haul service stopping here, so we should get a Class 68 through here as well. But we're just getting the other Chiltern movements as well. In this session I've done at Warwick Parkway, there's actually 3 cross-country services because that Banbury to Birmingham shuttle is running as well. So we're going to do the station history in a bit, but before I do that I do want to explain why I'm filming at Warwick Parkway now. Because when I started at Hatton, as you notice on the train that I was speeding towards Warwick, we actually speed through this railway station because the Birmingham Moor Street to Leamington or the Stratford-upon-Avon to Leamington shuttles do not stop at this railway station. However though, this does have a half an hourly service Birmingham Moor Street or Snow Hill to London Marylebone. So we're going to do the station history now and then carry on doing some filming of more trains. Now this is the station history for Warwick Parkway. Most of the stations we visited today were open in 1852, but this one wasn't, because this station opened on the 25th of October 2000 and opened with park and ride facilities alongside the A46 and the A4177. This was to encourage commuters to use the train here due to the lack of parking spaces in Warwick. However though, as I mentioned, this station does have a half an hour service to London Marylebone to Birmingham, while Warwick only has an hourly service. Now I'm going to pull up the annual rail passenger usage for the Office Rail and Roads from 2018 to 2019 up for both stations now. Now Warwick has 644,000 passengers, while Warwick Parkway actually has more. It has 682,000 passengers. So even though they roughly get about the same passengers, Warwick Parkway does see more passengers than Warwick. So we're just going to film a few more trains now before we move on to our 4th station. We did have a good time at Warwick Parkway. Now we did get the cross-country services, which was 3 of them passing through. One was a Banbury to Birmingham New Street, while the other 2 were Manchester Piccadilly going towards Reading and on to Bournemouth services. We did get some Chiltern stuff here, which is good. We did get a Chiltern Class 68, which was 68008 in the direct rail service livery. And we did get 3 Colas Railfreight Class 70s passing through here. Now, unfortunately, these were running about 50 minutes early because I was supposed to get them at my next station which I'm visiting, which is Dorridge. Now, Dorridge has 3 platforms. I'll explain that when I get to Dorridge, but it is a good location I like to film trains at. So our train is 6 coaches, Chiltern Railway service, just about to come in now, and it will take us to Dorridge. And when I'm at Dorridge, I'll explain the real reason why I'm filming on the Chiltern Main Line today. Because at Dorridge, there is something interesting coming through. This is the third station I'm visiting today, Dorridge. Now, when I started this hobby, this was a London Midland Railway station, which is now West Midlands Railway. But in due time, it actually has changed over to Chiltern Railways. I don't know when the transition was for that, but this is now a Chiltern Railway station with 3 platforms. Now, West Midlands Railway do serve this station. Usually on a normal pattern, they usually have a 20-minute service off here. They have 2 terminated services off this platform here, and they have one that goes on to Stratford-upon-Avon by Lapworth. But with the current situation, they've only got 2 at the moment. They've got the Kidderminster terminators here, and then they've got the Stourbridge to Stratford-upon-Avon services, which use these 2 platforms. But the last one I had used that platform there because it had to wait to be overtaken by a cross-country service down the bottom. But as I mentioned, this is one of my favourite places. Now, the real reason I'm out today on the Chiltern Main Line is because I'm waiting for a West Coast Railways movement. Now, this is 47802, a Class 47 locomotive, with apparently 9 coaches, I believe, what I've read, go from Bristol, Kingsland, I think it is, to the York National Railway Museum. So it's a 47 with some Mark 1 coaches, or Mark 2 coaches. I'm not sure what's in the rake, but it's a local haul service, empty stock working through here, and I thought, you know what, I wanted to come into this area, might as well go and get it. So that's why I'm at Dorridge, to get a West Coast Railways movement. It's diesel, not steam, but it will do. So we're going to do the history of Dorridge Railway Station and carry on doing some more filming. This is now the station history for Dorridge. Dorridge Station was opened by the Great Western Railway in 1852 on their Birmingham to Oxford line. When it was opened, it was called Lowell and Dorridge and served the village of Lowell. The station was renamed to Dorridge on the 6th of May 1974. Now, unfortunately, on the 15th of August 1963, 3 train crew died in a rail crash at this location due to a signalman's error, when a freight train was being shunted around the station, but a Class 52 Western and a Pullman service collided with the shunted freight train. One of the drivers was killed in the accident was named Erling Morris. Now, he was featured in the 1962 British transport film Let's Go to Birmingham. This was a 5-minute speed-up video of riding on a blue Pullman between London and Birmingham Snow Hill. So we're just going to film all trains passing through, hopefully get that Class 47 West Coast movement before we move on to our station number 5. But I'm not sure yet because that Class 47 is actually running late. So I'm not sure if we're going to go to the 5th station or not yet. Now, this is what I was on about this morning, because the Leamington train, which you can just see now, is being looped by that cross-country train. It's just about to pass through Dorridge, and then the Leamington train will arrive into Dorridge after the cross-country passes through. Now, even though this West Coast movement is late, but apparently I found out there's two 47s on it now, 47-802 and 47-804, but 47-802 is leading. Now, I had a look at Tracksy. I'll just put it on screen now so I can show you. Now, 2W80 is at Clarendon. That's my train to my last destination. Unfortunately, though, it can't go yet because 5Z90 is going to pass through Hatton any minute. So they're going to send the 47s first before my train. And 1R31 is the next Chiltern service to stop here at 2:15. So I will be getting those 47s through Dorridge, which is planned, and then I'll be hitting the 1426 for my last destination, Acox Green. So I'm now at my last station I'm visiting today. This is station number 5, Acox Green. Yes, we could have a good snigger at that name, to be honest. And there was somebody actually contacted me on Instagram one time. And this person goes, hang on, this ain't a real station name, is it? It is. This is Acox Green. We're here just for an hour filming some trains. We're filming some cross-country trains. We're filming some Chiltern Railways, diesel multiple units, and maybe some 68s passing through here. And that's about it, to be honest. There's not really that special here, it's just another station to tick off. But this station is actually quite good, to be honest, because it is on a platform here. Now I think this used to be the fast lines because this had 4 platforms at one point. Because this is part of the former Paddington to Birkenhead Woodside Main Line for the Great Western Railway. And where the car park is there was actually another platform there with 2 slow lines here. Because this had boasted 4 platforms at one time. But I'll explain that in the station history. Which we're going to do now and then film some more trains. This is the station history for Acox Green. Acox Green was opened in 1852 by the Great Western Railway on their Birmingham to Oxford line. In 1878 the station was renamed to Acox Green in South Yardley, but this was named back to Acox Green on the 6th of May 1968. However, Acox Green did boast to have 4 platforms here during its life, but when British Rail rationalised, they removed the slow lines and the passing loop, and today it's now part of the station car park. So we're just going to film a few more trains at this station before we head back to Birmingham Moor Street. and that's all the traffic filled at Acox Green apart from 2 units. Now we might get a Chiltern Railways Class 165, 165026, might be passing through here on the Birmingham to Leamington Spa service. Now when this passes through at the same time, my train back to Birmingham actually arrives on this platform, but I think my train's a bit late, so it could get the Chiltern Railways Class 165 first and then my train after. Once I get back to Birmingham Moor Street, I'm actually going to walk it back to Birmingham New Street to catch the 1610 West Midlands Railway service, either it'll be a London North Western Railway Class 350, back to Rugeley Town Station. Then I will be ending the block at Rugeley Town. So let's see if we get that 165, or it could be some 172s. What I'll just show you quickly is the exit out of Birmingham Moor Street. Now back at Rugeley Town Railway Station, we're going to summarise today's journey up because it actually has been very good, to be honest. We filmed at 5 railway stations, which were Hatton, Warwick Parkway, Dorridge and Acox Green. And to be honest, they were successful, to be honest. There was no problems at all. We filmed cross-country trains through them. We filmed Chiltern Railway services through them. And at Dorridge and Acox Green, we did get some West Midlands Railway services through there as well. However though, one of the West Midlands Railway services they did not film because the cross-country train to Bournemouth was flying through when it arrived. And by the time to get to the other end, it was already gone, so there was just one train I missed. But it's not about missing trains in this journey, it's about visiting the railway stations, and that's what I've done. I visited 5 different railway stations. But we also got some lovely Chiltern Class 68s. Now there was only 2 in operation today, 68008 and 68010. That was it. There were only 2 68s in service, but it was still nice to see some 68s on Chiltern Railway local haul services. We also got 3 Colas Class 70s, which was unexpectedly at Warwick Parkway. I think we were supposed to get them at Dorridge, but they ran about 50 minutes early. And the highlight of the day was the top and tail Class 47s for West Coast Railway, 47802 and 47804, which was going from Bristol, Kingsland Road I think it is called, to York National Railway Museum. So I'm guessing there's going to be a rail tour coming up very soon out of York. I think it could be the Waverley or Scarborough Spa Expresses, I'm not too sure, to be honest. So yes, it has been a successful trip. We filmed at the 5 stations we were going at, and that's it really. Now my next vlog I'm going to do is actually going to be next Monday, the 7th. Because the good thing with the 7th September is we're getting a 90% timetable back. So my next vlog is actually going to go down that line. That's all I'm saying for now. So thank you for watching. Feel free to subscribe, like the channel if you like. This vlog has been terminated at Rugeley Town Railway Station. Thank you for travelling with Sim0nTrains, and we'll see you for the next journey, when that will be. And to be honest, my arm is absolutely aching now holding this camcorder. So thank you for watching. I'll see you for the next journey down the line.